So you want to expand. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it on my stomach because I'm so freaking skinny. But basically, you want your stomach to go outward as if you're like becoming a like heavy set looking dude, right? Or another way to look at it is that as if you were like a kangaroo and you had a like a baby here, right? Just sitting there. And anyway, so what you want though is when we breathe, the air is gonna come here. We're gonna start filling low. I'm sorry, I'm pointing at my pelvis, just so you know. So my pelvis area, in this, my lower abdominal area, essentially, I'm gonna start by sucking the air and filling this area first. And I'm gonna fill up until I get about here, near my nipple area, basically. I am not going to fill higher than that. If you fill higher than that, it can lead to broken bones. You don't want to do that. It's not helpful. So we're going to fill up to the nipple area, for lack of a better landmark. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill this as much as I basically comfortably can, and you're going to see it go out. And then I'm going to hold that position even as I S, okay? So watch. It's obviously impossible to completely hold it because that's how air comes out. But you can see that I've slowed it, and that's the key. We're trying to very much slow or control the airflow in a very controlled way. And when I say slow, what I really mean is sort of slows the air in this portion, right? And controls it so it comes out in a more consistent airflow, basically. And so when I did that, by the way, I didn't just expand forward with my stomach. I'm trying to expand all the way around. You have your diaphragm is at the bottom of your lungs, okay? And the diaphragm, that area, works a lot like the gravy baster thing. The diaphragm drops and expands outward, and that basically allows your lungs to suck in the air, okay? And what we want to do then is control these muscles to make it so the diaphragm goes up as slowly as possible. And that's how you do it. You expand everything out and down, out and down. And when I do this, I'm doing it hard. Like, I'm not just kind of doing the heavy set thing. I'm pushing here. I'm not going to give myself a hernia, but I'm flexing. So I go out, and then I also go down. The down is more like if you were bracing for a punch and you just go, right? So you want that, but you want that while you're in the heavy set position. So heavy set position, and then that mechanic right there is how you're going to control your cough. If you can figure that out, then what you can basically do is force your body to do what it does when it's inhaling, but when it's exhaling. That's it, muscular-wise. It's key, it's critical, it will change the mechanics, it'll change the way you cough, and it'll open your airways up and create more space for the mucus to actually find its way out. If you do this right, it's gonna come out quick. Like, it's not gonna be a 3-hour battle trying to get one piece of mucus out. It's not. I'm telling you, if you follow my instructions and you practice a little bit, because this one obviously takes a little practice to master, but once you get it down, it's going to make your battles with one little piece of annoying mucus that's killing you much, much faster, okay? Or if you just have a lot of mucus that keeps coming, this will give you a way to actually fight it and to have a fighting chance against it. Okay, so now, this technique that I just taught you, that's kind of like a mix between singing support technique and maybe a few other breathing techniques. But what I want to pull in now are traditional coughing techniques, because when you mix these things with traditional coughing techniques, they work much, much better. And so it's the mix of everything together that is going to get this mucus out. It's not one piece or the other. You've got to do it all. And so this other part is going to be the huff. So it's very simple. If you haven't learned how to huff cough yet, basically all you do is this. You can even kind of hear my mucus a little bit. So basically all I'm doing is I'm just literally, without putting my vocal cords together, I'm leaving them completely open, and I'm just letting the air pass through and breathing out in a heavy sort of husky way. You can hear that mucus already trying to move, right? But it's not out. It's trying, but it's not working, right? Well, we're going to make it work. Okay, now that's part of it. We're going to do a few of those huffs first before we ever attempt a real cough. We're going to try to huff until we can get the the mucus to dislodge just a little bit, and you'll feel it. And when it dislodges a little bit, then you'll know, now it's time to cough. We don't just cough, 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 cough. Hacking away is going to do nothing but get you into like an asthma attack sort of thing, and you don't want to do that. So what you want to make sure is that every time that you do a real cough, that it's an effective cough, that it's an intentional cough. And this will greatly take the strain off your lungs and your vocal cords to make this change. So we want to huff until we can dislodge the mucus a little bit, and then we cough. But when we cough, we don't just cough. We take our breath the way that I taught you. So we're going to take it at the bottom of the pelvis, slowly fill up. Now we're the heavy set man. Keep filling up, fill up to about maybe just below the nipple area, okay? And this, you should be out right now and down. And you should be continuously engaging the muscles outward and downward, trying to basically prevent the lungs from collapsing when you exhale. That's what you're really trying to do. You're trying to prevent the lungs from collapsing as you exhale by using your muscles to go outward and downward in the areas that I brought up, okay? So now what you do is, once you have your breath, okay, now I've got my breath. I'm gonna hold it for a second. This is so important. Hold it for a second at the top of your breath. So I'm at the top of my breath, and I'm gonna hold it for a minute. Not a long time, just a few seconds. When I've held it for a second, then I'm gonna cough. So it's huff, 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 right? Then in through the diaphragm, outward and down. Hold it. Okay, not to be gross, right? But, well, that was gross. I have no idea what to do with this. You feel me? So this is how it works, okay? So basically, you're gonna, every time that you do the huff, you wanna take the breath the right way too. And you wanna make sure you're going out and down with the huff too. It's key. You gotta go. I mean, look how effective that is, right? So, if you're going outward and downward, you'll feel the outward expansion here too. Outward, outward. And that creates space in your airways so that the mucus can actually dislodge and come out, right? And then here's one other little piece that I will tell you, and this is really important. Okay, so when we're doing this, we want to make sure that even the huffing, whether it's the breath holding, the huffing, or the actual coughing, that we're always breathing in, starting at the pelvic area, outward and down, and then we hold it for a second and then huff. Hold it for a second, then huff. Then hold it and then cough. And if you do these things, I'm telling you, you're going to get it out so much easier, so much easier. But mind you, when you're coughing, remember the yawn? Remember I was telling you your throat feels like it's expanding when you yawn? It's all expanding when you yawn. You want to feel that expansion while you cough out, while you huff out. In both scenarios, you want to feel this outward expansion like it was a yawn while you cough outward and while you huff outward, because it creates space in here and space in here for the mucus to have room to dislodge and then go flinging out. Now sometimes it'll fling too far and it'll go behind your nose, and I think you'll know what I mean, because you'll feel like something dislodged here but nothing comes out. A lot of times when that happens, it's just stuck behind your nasal cavity, and I'm sorry to be gross here, but all you gotta do when that happens is give it a gentle, don't do this too hard. If you do it too hard, it's gonna wind up back in your lungs, so don't do that. But give it just a very gentle snort, okay? And then it's out. So I'm sorry to be gross and manhandling mucus and everything, but I just wanted to show you guys how real this is, and that it's a truly, truly life-changing technique that can give you a tool to fight back against this thick superglue mucus. And the stuff that I showed you just now, that was just a little bit of my mucus. If you saw the real deal, man, you would see. I'll show you some pictures at the end of the video. It is intense, super thick, super long mucus. Sometimes it's so long, it'll stem from the back of my nose, but it'll actually hang so far down, it actually hangs on my vocal cords. And then it's like you try to cough it out, but it's this long thing, so it has all this grip, and you can't get it out very easily. You've got to create that space through that yawning outward and down thing that I'm basically trying to teach you. And that yawning outward and down sensation should not only be on the inhale, It should be maintained on the exhale while you cough and huff. Alright, I don't know if I can teach it any better. I think at this stage, you guys gotta try it. You gotta start learning the sensations, learning what it feels like to expand these areas and to keep them expanded, even as you exhale. And you gotta learn what it feels like to huff and dislodge the mucus, and then know once it's dislodged and know when it's time to cough. And start learning how to control your coughs. Get control over your coughs. You know, you should be doing this intentionally. Whenever you cough, it needs to be an intentional cough. You need to try your very best to stop with the hacking, because it's useless. And if it's not productive, all it's doing is hurting you. All it's doing is wear and tear on your vocal cords, on your airway in your lungs, on your muscles, on your ribs, on your spine. It's pointless if you don't clear the mucus. So get control again. And I hope this helps you guys. Now just remember, if it doesn't help you immediately, it's probably because you haven't figured out how to make this control your vocal cords, control this part. Eventually, as you practice, you'll learn how going out and down in the abdominal area especially, focusing on that area especially, but also out in the lungs, out in this area, when you have that expansion going all the time while you cough, and then you huff first, huff a few times, then you do your cough, but you make sure you hold your breath at the top. Once you get those things down, you start learning how to do it all at the same time, you will start seeing a massive difference in your ability to clear that mucus out of your airway. I wish you guys the most luck possible. I pray to God that you guys are able to pick up this technique, because I know that if you do, it'll change your life, it'll give you some quality of life back, and it'll give my life and my struggle, my horrible situation that I've been through, it'll give it some meaning if you guys can get some benefit from this technique. And I know for a fact that if you learn this, it's going to change things. It's going to improve your lives. It's going to help you get that mucus out. It's going to help you breathe. And I also know that this is not something that you can find anywhere. This is something that you only find here.